welcome to Clearing Up the Past. I'm little bro Millennium Dave, but you can call me David.
And I'm Big Sis Gen Xy, also known as Erin.
And we are your nostalgia historians covering the best things from the 80s, the 90s, and beyond.
So everybody take a chill pill and get ready for a totally tubular time.
In the small town of Vernon, on October 27th, 29th, and 31st, 1987, three teenage girls named Tiffany Clark, Marissa Song, and Heather Hernandez were killed by the Sweet 16 killer, each having been stabbed 16 times on the nights of their 16th birthdays. That's right. Tonight, if you know the plot that I just discussed, we're going to talk about Totally Killer, the Amazon Prime movie that came out last year?
October 9th. I looked that up.
Oh, okay. Of last year?
Yeah.
2023?
We're late to the game, but yes.
We are a little late to the game, but we decided we would do a new movie set in the past because one of the things that we kind of have talked about wanting to do is cover nostalgia news, so to speak, because I actually just talked about this on my other podcast. We did an episode of We're Probably Not Okay on nostalgia where we discussed how there's so many IPs that are still trying to cash in on their success from the 80s and 90s, but there are also other new IPs that are trying to cash in on that nostalgia factor as well, and this is definitely a good example of that. So do you want to kind of give us a little more, without giving away any spoilers, a little bit of the plot as you remember it?
So it starts on Halloween night, and the main character, Jamie, I'm trying to think about her name, wants to go out. Her mom's reluctant to let her go out because she was friends with the girls who got killed. And it's also a time travel movie because Jamie ends up back in 1987, meets her parents as their teen selves, and tries to prevent the original murders. Is
Right.
that enough without giving too much away?
I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much the gist of it. And of course, going back in time into the 80s, the vibe is very 80s slasher film. I think we'll talk about that as we go a little bit further into the story of it itself, as to whether or not we think that they did that very successfully or not. But, and you'll have to excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, so not only do I sound stuffy, but my head's also stuffy. So if I'm like, words are hard, it's because of that. But we did not want to delay putting out another podcast any further. So, and we will probably start to put these out a little bit more frequently. Kind of have a good game plan for that. Say what you will about preparation for the podcast, but I'd really rather just get on here and talk to you and have a good conversation and discuss what we're excited about coming up in new movies and new music and stuff like that. So
I like more organic type podcasts anyway, so that's what we'll have.
Yeah. This is one of those podcasts where you put it on in the background while you're working, or you put your headphones on while you're going to sleep, and our sweet voices just lull you to slumberland.
That's right. We could add some ASMR.
Yeah. Here's a $2 bill my grandfather gave me. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Did Grandpa really give you that?
Yeah, I remember this is from their 60th wedding anniversary or 65th wedding anniversary.
Oh, okay.
It says, oh, you're not going to be able to read it. It says, it's real. Actually, it says 2019. It's real. Keep this $2 bill and you'll never go broke. Love you, Grandpa.
Aw.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet. They did kind of have a very doom and gloom approach to that event, though, because they were both acting like this might be the last time you ever see us.
Oh, yeah. I think they do that every time we see them now, but
that is true. That was 5 years ago. They're still kicking. Oh God, I probably shouldn't be saying this. Uh, but anyway, so let's talk about the cast a little bit. So Jamie, the main character, is played by Kiernan Shipka, who I don't believe I've seen her anything. I'm looking at. Go ahead.
I watched Mad Men. I loved the show Mad Men, and she was Sally Draper, a little girl when it started, but kind of grew up on the show. So I saw
Okay.
her in that. She was also in the new Sabrina, but I've never seen that.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen the new Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. She was in Riverdale as as Sabrina.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I get it. That makes sense. That's what she's probably the most known for, huh? Yeah, okay. Just looking down her IMDb real quick. But yeah, this is the first thing I ever saw her in. Other notable characters, I don't think I really recognized anyone else from the movie except Julie Bowen, who played the mom, Pam Hughes, as she's obviously from Modern Family.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know she was in Happy Gilmore? I did not know that. Kira is nodding in the background. She knew. Well, now we got to go through this a little bit. She's the golf lady. I
feel like I've seen her in something else.
Don't remember that at all. I'm looking now. Modern Family, obviously. She's been in. She was in at least one episode of Mindy Project. That I never really watched that show.
Yeah.
Nothing's jumping out to me here other than Modern Family. She was in an episode of Monk.
Oh.
7 episodes of Weeds. I never watched that. Oh,
I did. Maybe that's. Oh, yes. I remember. Okay, she had an affair with the teenage boy in Weeds. I remember that. He might have been like 19, but she wasn't. She was older.
I will go ahead and say your video is a little pixely, so I will apologize to the viewers there. But we'll keep working on this. I think that our audio and video is already better than last time, so we'll keep working on it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, you know what? They get what they get. They're going to sleep anyway.
Right. Yeah.
They're not looking. She was in Dawson's Creek. I should probably stop. We should probably move on. She was in. I said. Lost. She was actually in 6 episodes of Lost. Sarah Shepard and Sarah Wagner. I don't remember her in that either.
I don't either, and I've seen every episode of Lost.
Yeah, likewise. Likewise. Party of 5. Okay, I'm done. Did you recognize anyone else in the movie that you remember?
I didn't. I'm trying to think. Not that I remember, no.
I really don't think I did at all. And I'm sure.
Oh, the dad.
Blake
Hughes.
Blake Hughes. All right, I'm looking at him now.
I don't know his name.
Lachlan Monroe.
In the 90s. That's all I know.
His name is Lachlan Monroe. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I remember this dude. Yeah, he's been in stuff like White Chicks, Scary Movie. He was in Reacher, one episode. We watched that recently.
Okay. I couldn't place him, but I knew when I saw him, he's been in like stuff in the 90s.
Oh, he was also in Riverdale, like 51 episodes. So,
geez.
Yeah, so that kind of makes sense, I suppose. Kind of a little crossover of actors will happen sometimes. Yeah, bunch of stuff. None of this I recognize at all. So okay. Well, moving on. Also, I did not recognize the director at all from this. The name, both Kira and I, when we saw the name, it's Lananchka Khan. Was born 1973 in Los Angeles. Producer and writer, known for Always Be My Maybe and Fresh Off the Boat. Okay, so. She actually did the TV series Fresh Off the Boat, Kira. The director of Totally Killer, she was the producer for Fresh Off the Boat. So some stuff that we actually. Go ahead.
I was surprised that it was Blumhouse. I didn't know that till I was like rewatching parts of it.
I don't think I caught that either. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about probably what I want to talk about most is the clothes, the music, and the vibe of the 80s.
Okay.
Was it captured, or did this feel a little too forced? So let's start with the music. And actually, I'll pull up the soundtrack.
Yeah, I've got that up here too. Let me see. It has an impressive soundtrack.
Yeah, there were definitely some
But
that stood out to me. But I'm
I don't
old.
remember a lot of them during the movie. What'd you say?
I said, but I'm old, so I need to have it in front of me. Oh yeah, so the one that stood out to me the most was Echo and the Bunnymen.
Mhm.
So that song is also in Donnie Darko.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so that definitely stood out to me. I love that song because I love Donnie Darko. So
I remember most Venus when she first gets back to 1987. That's playing in the carnival in the background. So
yeah, that one obviously stands out.
yeah.
But there's Bizarre Love Triangle by New Order, Venus, Let the Music Play by Shannon. I'm not really, I don't know that I'm familiar with that. Obsession
Me.
by Animotion, Lady in Red. That's Close to Me by The Cure. Like I said, Lips Like Sugar by Echo and the Bunnymen. Never Say Never, Romeo Void. Do you know that song?
I do not.
Mirror in the Bathroom by The English Beat. Point of No Return by Expose.
That's one of my favorite 80s songs.
Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell, obviously. We listen to that every Halloween. I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany. Primary, The Cure. Added Up, Violet Femmes. I don't know if I recognized that specific song or if I just realized it was Violent Femmes. I don't remember if I'm familiar with that one, but I was like, oh, Violent Femmes. You Keep Me Hanging On by Kim Wilde. We're Not Gonna Take It, Twisted Sister. The World Is Ours, The Werewolf. That's an original, it says. Everybody Have Fun Tonight by Wang Chung. What You Need in Excess. Talking in Your Sleep, The Romantics. I Just Died in Your Arms by Cutting Crew. Forever Young by Alphaville. Rapture by Blondie. And Little Bit of Soul is a Amazon original movie song as well. So yeah, pretty impressive. There's some notable tunes in there. So the scene that sticks out to you though is the Venus when they're at the fair when she first travels back in time.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, obviously it's an 80s song, but I feel like it kind of
Set the tone.
Yeah, it's the 80s vibes. I do remember now hearing Forever Young when they were at the dance because it made me think of Napoleon Dynamite because that same song is playing when they're at the dance. So
yeah, it's funny how songs like that will take you to other movies.
Yeah,
in moments like that, because definitely the Echo and the Bunnymen song, like as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, Donnie Darko. Which takes place in the 80s. So
any others for you? I don't remember a lot like where these songs were in the movie. I do remember singing You Keep Me Hanging On when it was playing.
Yeah, I remember singing Everyone Have Fun Tonight by Wang Chung, but I don't remember where. And I definitely remember hearing the one I said that we listen to every Halloween. Somebody's Watching Me.
Somebody's Watching Me.
Yeah, Rockwell. I definitely remember that because it takes place obviously around Halloween. So that to me is very Halloween-y.
It is.
Don't know that the song was necessarily made with that in mind, but it certainly became it.
Yes.
An iconic Halloween song. So, well, why don't you talk about the clothes? Because I mean, there's a very specific piece of clothing that Jamie gets from her mother, the jacket.
Yeah.
But then, what are your thoughts on the rest of the wardrobe department's job?
I think it was 80s. Without trying too hard to be 80s, there was an instance where she runs into a mom who has the like neon colored tracksuit on.
Yeah.
And I think that when people think about clothes from the 80s, that's where their mind goes. And it wasn't obviously all that way.
Right.
So,
Right.
I did notice her mom, her teen mom self, and her friends kind of, to me, reminded me of like the Pretty in Pink vibes, that
Yeah.
those kinds of
I could s-
clothes,
I could see that. The
more the pastels and pearls and
the trailer is running on the IMDb page that I'm looking at now, and yeah, a lot of jean jackets, a lot of
yeah.
white dresses, floral jackets, like
Mhm.
floral like suit jackets, and yeah,
Like the frosted denim. I think I remember
uh,
seeing that a few
oh yeah,
times. Yeah.
yeah, acid wash, like for sure. So, and the hair, like to an extent, I think they did a decent job. Like the teenage Pam, the mom, her hair is definitely like teased
Yeah,
up.
very high bangs. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But they didn't really like.
The Go on.
I was just gonna say I don't feel like they really overdid the hair for a lot of the other characters. Like it's not like everyone's got their hair crimped or
Right.
anything or blown out like crazy. A lot of them look kind
Yeah.
of more modern.
I got that feeling from the hair too, definitely.
Yeah, they probably didn't want to go.
That jacket though, I want to talk about the jacket.
Please, I told you to talk about it, and then I started talking instead. So go for
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's a white, if no one has seen or you haven't seen it, it's a white leather jacket with fringe, a lot of fringe. And I've been looking for one of those for a long time. I've yet to find one because it's like Sloane and Ferris Bueller, and I wanted to be
Mm,
her for Halloween for a while. So I'm on the
okay.
hunt for that jacket.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, the trailer's playing and it's showing that jacket right now. You're right. I didn't even think about that. Sloan from Ferris Bueller. That's exactly what that jacket looks like.
Mhm.
And there's the mom in the tracksuit. um, anything else you want to say about the clothes?
Nothing else really stood out to me. No.
Okay. Let's talk about the vibe. Um, I
Okay.
I specifically want to talk about how obviously Jamie goes back into the past. She's Gen Z through and through. Um, and now she's thrust back into the sensibilities of the 80s. So,
Hmm.
she's seeing a lot of people making jokes at others' expenses and bullying in ways that has become deemed very inappropriate and out of bounds in modern sensibilities. She sees a lot of teenage drinking and just a lot of examples of things that take place, like parenting. And that woman in the tracksuit like offers her a ride, and she's like, "You could be a psycho killer. What are you talking about?" Something along the lines of that. And she's like, "Oh, come
Yeah.
on!"
Yeah.
And she's like smoking with her two kids and stuff. So a lot of examples
Hmm.
of stuff like that she's just very surprised by. I didn't find it overly preachy, which I thought at first it was going to be. I was like, okay, you know, this
I
is
thought so too.
yeah, this is going to be a commentary on society more than just a fun romping time travel movie. But it while it was there and it was present, it makes sense for the character, and she didn't. It wasn't overboard, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on that, and if they captured the true sensibilities of the 80s?
Being a kid in the 80s, I'm not sure with some of it. The first thing that I really noticed was when she goes to the high school to try to enroll, she thinks that the secretary is going to put up a fight and be
Right.
like, I need your mom, I need your birth certificate, all that stuff you usually have to provide when you're registering for school. And she basically says, here's your class schedule, you're in school now. And Jamie, I don't know why I can't remember her name, uh, is like, okay, really? And she was kind of surprised by that.
Right.
So that was one of the first things. And I don't think there was as much bureaucracy and red tape back in
Right.
the 80s. I don't know if people were more trusting. Um,
Yeah.
and as time went on,
Just
they decided they shouldn't be. I don't know.
just a lot of bad things hadn't happened yet. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. So as more and more of that became prevalent, it's like maybe we should put some regulations in place.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the second thing I can think of, which is much later in the movie, she happens to get in a fight with the killer and has a tissue or something with his blood on it. And she tries to give that to the police and say, this has his DNA. You can find him this way. And they're like, what's DNA?
Yeah, they're like,
So I don't
gross.
know
We
if
don't want
that's
that.
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
And I don't know if
know.
that's accurate. I meant to look that up. I would think they'd have DNA testing in the 80s, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I mean, I know obviously DNA forensics has gotten a lot better, obviously,
Yeah.
as time has passed. But I don't know what the origin from it was, and maybe again, it was a small town, so even if it existed, it might not, might have been more like an FBI thing and not a local cop
That
thing.
could be. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And a lot of it too, I don't know if being a comedy, we're not supposed to take that too seriously, but
True.
yeah.
True.
Because the cops in general kind of had this lackadaisical attitude, and
Yeah.
when she first approaches them and says, "I'm here to report a crime that hasn't happened yet," they were laughing at her basically.
Right. I like how she's like, "Have you seen the movie Back to the Future?" They're like, "Yeah, it's awesome."
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of bleeds into my last question, and we'll wrap up this and kind of talk about some nostalgia news. I want to know if you liked the movie. And I'll kind of give my take on that. I found it incredibly predictable, very cheesy. I watch a lot of time travel movies, and so a lot of times my mind's already like thinking in fourth dimension chess, like how's this going to play? There's not a ton of that, like back and forth from the past to the present. There is some, but not a ton.
Right.
But what there is, it was very, very, very straightforward, and even like the twist ending with the killer and everything at the end, which we won't spoil. Very early in the movie, I made a reference to a different movie that Jamie then references in the movie. And so, it's just kind of like you see it coming pretty readily.
Right.
And Kira definitely like nailed some aspects of it pretty early on in the movie as well. So I found it predictable and silly and cheesy and okay. It was fun. I enjoyed the music and the nostalgia of it definitely more than I enjoyed it as a standalone movie, I guess is what I'm going to say. But what do you think?
I agree. I enjoyed it. There's a reason it went directly to streaming and on to a theater.
For sure.
It's entertaining. It's not something I think I'd want to watch again. Obviously, once you know the ending and everything. I tried to watch it twice and I got really bored. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Watching some reviews, I heard someone say it's dumb fun, and I think that's the perfect description. It's dumb fun.
It is. I think Kira and I poured a glass of whiskey and got some popcorn and watched it. It's like it's something to sit down to while just chilling. It's not something that's going to change your life or like make a real big impact on you. I'll probably forget this a year from now until I see a thumbnail that we did this video. So
I really wanted to get more of the nostalgic vibes.
Hey, that's what this podcast is about. You got to be able to say that word.
I'll have to practice. I know. But yeah, it left me lacking.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. It was very surface level. Like 80s, 80s music. She's got 80s hair. She's wearing a tracksuit. Right. Yeah. She's smoking with her kids. Yeah, it was pretty surface level, but not bad for what it is. So what I want to start,
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, no, not at all. But what I would like to do is I'd like to start keeping a list of scores for anything we talk about. So music, video games, everything. And we're going to base it on a scale from 1 to 100.
Oh, okay.
And again, movies compared to movies, TV compared to TV, video games compared to video games. So this is the first movie one we've done. So this is our baseline score for movies.
Okay.
What's your score?
Wow. Do you have one in mind? I guess you shouldn't tell me first.
64. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say 50, like right in the middle.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
Kind of neutral.
You might be making my score go down, though. You went lower than I thought. Did I like it that much? Kira, what's your score? 82? It was entertaining. Get out of my house. Just kidding. I was born in that year, and that's a good number, but no.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I'm dropping mine. I'm gonna say 58.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think I had higher expectations, so it was a little disappointing. But like I said, it was good, not great.
Yeah. So combined total of 108 points. Put it on our website that doesn't exist. Start the counters. Start the banner, the billboard. You gonna do it for us? She's not gonna do it for us. Okay, cool. Well, that's that. That went a little longer than I thought. So let's get right into our nostalgia news. What have you brought to the table? What have you been excited about? Again, nostalgia news is going to be, it doesn't have to be brand spanking new, but we can talk about trailers that we've seen or movies that are about to come out or movies that have just come out that we're excited about, whatever you want. But the idea is that they hearken unto nostalgia. It doesn't have to be old stuff, but harkens unto nostalgia for us. So what is your nostalgia news today?
The main thing that's in your face everywhere for me is Ghostbusters. The new Ghostbusters. Frozen Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm really excited about it. I didn't love the last one.
Okay. Speak on
that. Maybe I had too high of expectations for that too, because the trailers looked excellent and I was like, a new Ghostbusters. They've got some of the ancestors of the Ghostbusters, and it was just it was okay. It wasn't bad.
I liked it. I thought they did a pretty good job with it. But again, it also was kind of surface level. Like the whole, I don't remember what they call the ghost that's similar to Slimer, but it's like,
I don't remember either.
You did the Stay Puft Man again. Just do Slimer again.
Yeah. Like, he's a ghost. He's around still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or wait, did he get?
I think he got captured in that hotel.
Okay.
So they put him in. They're like, but didn't all of the ghosts escape from that device because the mayor went and turned it off? So all the ghosts got out.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I need to talk to Ryan Brown, my Ghostbuster historian, about this because I'm sure he has a very strong opinion about it. But I liked it. I mean, I like the characters. I like Finn Wolfhard and the other kids. I thought did a great job.
Casting was done well.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Did Ryan like? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Ryan like Afterlife?
I think he liked it. And I know we've talked about the last scene where Harold Ramis is a ghost. They do a holographic ghost version of him, and how they did that well. And I believe it brought emotion to him, as it did I. So I believe he liked it. I think he liked the one with all the lady comedians as well, just for what it is and different. And I did too. That also is kind of a just a fun romp. I know people shat on it, and I definitely think that the sequel, the last one Afterlife was a lot better. But for what it was, I'll take another Ghostbusters movie, and Kristen Wiig was okay. Melissa McCarthy was okay in it. Leslie, what's her face, was fine. And then
Man.
then the one dude, what's his name? Huh?
Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, his character was entertaining enough. But
Yeah. It was funny. No, I didn't hate that one either. I liked that one.
So, do you have any other news, or shall I give one?
You should get one.
Okay. I was going to talk about X-Men 97, but I haven't watched any of it yet. But that just dropped recently, and I definitely want to watch it because I loved the original X-Men cartoon, and I hope they do something similar with the Spider-Man cartoon from that era as well. Like, I think all of that would be really dope. I'm interested to see if they're gonna try it, since it's, you know, all Disney now. It's interesting to see if they're gonna try to like make it be part of the multiverse somehow or something. So I do want to watch it just for the nostalgia blast. I mean, you know, like you're stopping what you're doing. You're like, well, hi, X-Men. So the nostalgia blast is hard there. I did look at the trailer. Okay, I said I wasn't going to speak about it, but I'm going to apparently. I did watch the trailer recently, and they tried to do that like 90s style animation, but it doesn't have the like grit. The like where like, hey, we're doing our best here with the budget that we have kind of animation. It's like, well, we've got computers to do this now, and it's really easy, and we'll try to make it look old, but you know, it is what it is. It looks nice. It's kind of
animated.
Huh?
Does it look animated? It is animated. It's not like
I mean, it looks like they've done it like computer animation, like instead of the old style of animation. It really does, but it looks like they tried to make it look old. That's my guess. I don't know, and maybe I'll do some research into the process, but my guess is they didn't do it the old way.
Yeah, probably not.
And then what my news is for this episode, and then we'll wrap up, is just watch the Beetlejuice teaser, Beetlejuice 2 teaser, or I don't know if they're going to call it Beetlejuice, but it says, like, at the end of the trailer, it says Beetlejuice, and then at the bottom it says AD 2024. I think the AD 2024 they just made it look like a tombstone, and they're saying it's coming out in 2024. So I think it's just going to be Beetlejuice, maybe, instead of Beetlejuice 2, which kind of makes sense because if you say his name 3 times, you know. So if they want to do a third one, you know, it's going to be Beetlejuice. So I think that's the vibe they're going for there. It looks cool. Michael Keaton's old as shit. Yeah. Winona Ryder's old. And then it looks like, if you haven't seen the trailer or the teaser, it looks like they're at a funeral at the beginning, and it's they've got it's the mother, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder, and then the daughter, who's played by her name is Jenna Ortega, who is Wednesday Addams. Yes. So you kind of see them at a gravesite, and it's the choir children are singing the Day-o, Day-o, daylight come and me one go home. And it's real bad. Not synced, and it's just kind of silly, but obviously drawing on the very nostalgic scene where that plays in the first one. And it is assumed, it seems, that her father died, and so she's gone back to the town to go to the funeral. And then, of course, Jenna Ortega's character is like riding a bike around the town, and she sees a school for girls, and then she goes into the attic and uncovers the diorama of the town, and it cracks open, and then Beetlejuice rises up, and you realize how old Michael Keaton really is, and he says something snarky that I don't remember, and then Beetlejuice, AD 2024. But you know, I was expecting to get cold chills and be like, oh yeah, heck yeah, I'm excited for this. I didn't. I am excited for it, and I think it'll be good, but they at least this teaser, and maybe once they come out with the full trailer, maybe I'll get that sense. But excited, but not like overly at this point.
I had not seen the teaser. I'll have to look that up.
What did you think of the original? Is that like a movie that you have nostalgic feelings for?
I have an unpopular opinion about Beetlejuice because I don't like it.
I mean, I don't know that that's actually that unpopular. I bet you if we did a poll, there are a lot of people that don't care for that movie. It's a bit much.
It was a stupid movie, and there are stupid movies I enjoy and I like. It just isn't my cup of tea. I don't know. It's okay. It's an 80s movie. I've seen it, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it is stupid. It's incredibly. It's like one of the most Tim Burton movies ever. So there's definitely a vibe that you kind of have to be on the board with as well. But I love it. It's one of my favorite 80s movies. Very stupid. I mean, it's basically like watching an animated cartoon.
I think it's supposed to kind of be. I mean, it's obviously not a serious movie, but
yeah, incredibly
and
racy. You'll probably watch it. The second one.
Yes. Yeah.
First one was incredibly racy, and I'm pretty sure Michael Keaton was on cocaine the entire time they were shooting, and it shows. So he definitely has like a much chiller vibe in this. So he might not be on cocaine. We'll see.
Does he look the same? Does he have the same makeup and costume?
Same makeup and costume and everything, but it still comes through that he's significantly older.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, but
we all are. Yeah.
Yeah, we are. All right. Well, until next time, nostalgia nerds. I've been Millennium Dave.
And I've been Gen Xie.
When you're feeling lost in the fog of the modern mundane, don't fear.
I lost my part. You're going to have to edit this.
Oh, no, it's staying in.
Because we're clearing up the past.
Heck yeah, we are. We'll get it. Don't worry. All right.